And we have had history here today. Bernie Little's Miss Budweiser has just wrapped up its 6th consecutive national championship, 22nd overall for Budweiser. And get this, the top qualifier for this event with a new course record of 160 miles an hour is the piston-powered U3 Vacationville.com. The new member of our crew, Shannon Polito, had a chance to get down to the dock when history unfolded and talk to a very emotional Mitch Evans.
160 miles an hour. How are you feeling?
I'm kind of speechless. It's pretty amazing. It's been a lot of work and a long time.
You're very touched. We can see that. Your whole team feels equally as proud.
It's just been so much work by so many people. It's hard to put into words. It really is.
Well, sometimes words don't always fit. Maybe we say, do you think you can take everyone out in the field?
We need to do some more learning, but it's really going to come along. It's going to be a neat day.
Well, you made history. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that is a very emotional Mitch Evans, the top qualifier. And let's take a look while we have a chance at the qualifying ladder for this San Diego Thunderboat Regatta. The Vacationville.com at 160.370. That is a new Hydroprop San Diego course record. The Miss Budweiser in there as the second qualifier. U9 Sun Harbor Mortgage in at number 3. And the U16 Elan Plus, top qualifier every race this year until now, having to settle for 4th place. And there you see everybody else bunched up along down the line. The qualifying speeds go out the window once the racing starts, and in Heat 1A, the salt water here in Mission Bay was a factor. The Vacationville.com, the favorite on lane 1, fizzled late at the start, got a lot of salt water, and was not a factor. The Sun Harbor Mortgage with Mike Hansen, very fast, fizzled, salt water again. It was the M-Corps with Mike Weber running great all weekend, hitting the start on the line and leading the field for the distance. Coming out of turn 1 in lap 1, Greg Hopp in Bond's American Pride went outside an outer course marker buoy and incurred a 1-lap penalty. So it was M-Corps winning the race. Trent West and Mark Tate took second. Old Boy Alberto and Steve David settled for third. Heat 1B saw the National High Point title in the balance, and the question was, would Dave Billwalk in Miss Budweiser push the boat in windy conditions and risk blowing it over and losing the national championship? The answer is Dave Billwalk set a new world record in lap number 1 at 153.964 in competition here in San Diego. The Miss Elan Plus running in lane 2 on the outside of the Budweiser went around and finished second as the Budweiser went on to win the heat with a world record 3-lap heat as well. Budweiser picked up the points. The Elam takes second. Just a little bit closer now. The Budweiser just needs a 4th place finish in any heat of the day to clinch the national title. Hey, Dave, you know, you just, national high points, you've about got it locked now. You just need a 4th. Can you manage a 4th through the rest of the racing day?
Well, I hope so. We're just happy to keep the Miss Budweiser running out for our fans there. So we'll do the best we can. The next heat, that was a big step up. Had a tough competitor, Nate, up against us. It kept us really honest. Managed to get a great start, and that was the race.
Heat 2A was a great race from start to finish as the boats got to the line very early. Many boats in need of points. The Miss M-Corps on the outside knew it needed a good start, and Mike Weber jumped the gun just barely, incurring a 1-lap penalty. Mike Hansen in Sun Harbor Mortgage had the race then, and he led it throughout. He needed a 1st place to get points to get in the final. But on the very last lap, Greg Hopp in the Bonds American Pride, chasing Mike Hansen, hit a roller, went up, almost landed upside down here in Mission Bay. We waited and waited, and finally Greg Hopp did emerge from the bottom of the boat, out of the canopy, and he was all right, and he talked to Chip Hanau.
Greg, like all racers, I come up and ask you if you're okay, and all you are is angry. What are you angry about?
Oh, just angry about the whole situation. You know, we had 2nd place covered, looking to get enough points to make the final in a last lap, and just hit the wrong roller at the wrong time, and then blew the boat over. And I'm just angry at myself, really, for even allowing that to happen.
Heat 2B saw the national championship on the line for the Miss Budweiser, but the fast boats, the Budweiser and the Elam, were pushed to the outside, and the slower boats had the inner lanes and the advantage. And it was Terry Troxel in the 25centcolor.com leading everybody across the starting line and into turn one. But coming out of turn one, Terry Troxel bore out, incurred a one-lap penalty, put the Elam way outside, and the Budweiser nearly on the outer course markers. So the Troxel boat was out. 25-cent color would finish fifth. Then the battle was on. The Elam Plus went on to win the race. The Budweiser just needed a fourth to win the national championship. They took a second, and the Budweiser team was celebrating down dockside.
Dave Billwalk, you are once again the world champion of unlimited hydroplane racing.
Oh, thanks. It's good. You know, we're trying to be real cautious there. Like the U10 jumped the gun the last heat, so we wanted to be back a little bit and get the championship in the bag, and then we'll try to go racing the rest of the day.
Yeah, you see Greg Hopp in the U100 go over right there. It just looked so easy to go over. I know you just wanted to get this part over with.
Right. That was the only way we could lose the championship was to crash. So took it a little conservatively there, and championships, like I said, is done, and so now we can go race the rest of the day. That'll be fun.
All right, little history for the fans. You know, 1996, you win the world title with Pico.
Right.
That's the last time Bernie lost the title, because then he hired you. And you've won 6 in a row for Bud. Of course, you had your tragic accident in '97, but you've never lost with Budweiser. Is that what you expected when you came here?
Well, that is a six-pack, and that's a nice way to do it. Don't you think? A six-pack sounds good to me.
Heat 3B, the last preliminary elimination heat of the day. Final field positions on the line, and the Sun Harbor Mortgage, Trend West, and Elam Plus just needed top 3 finishes to make it into the final. But the spoiler, as always, is Terry Troxel in the 25centcolor.com. But Terry Troxel barely jumped the gun in the bright green boat, and though apparently leading the field for a while, he was penalized a lap. Trend West with the very savvy Mark Tate took a second. Sun Harbor, of course, took first place in that white boat with Mike Hansen driving to be in the final. The Elam was in the spray, not looking so good. Was he saving it? He finished third, good enough to be in the final heat of the day.